welcome back. The next thing we're going to do is install WordPress. This is where everything comes together and we actually get to see something tangible in the end. Please feel free to pause, rewind, and go back if you make any mistakes. Now keep in mind, nothing is absolutely set in stone. So if we make a mistake or a catastrophic mistake and nothing seems to be happening, it's not an issue to start over again and by re-downloading the WordPress files and starting from scratch. So I'm going to be showing that in a supplementary video. In the interim, like I said, just pause and follow along, and we should be okay. Okay, so I've opened up my Chrome browser, and make sure again that you've browsed to your new domain name here, and it should automatically bring you, like we showed in the last video, to a language choice screen here, which is the start of the installation of WordPress. It is imperative that you don't leave this on your website for too long. It's always good to just get everything set up, and the way you at least get all this preliminary stuff set up. That way we don't have other people, just because this is open to the public, they can go click on stuff and do funny things. So we just want to just have this done as soon as possible. So I'm just going to click English, United States, that's fine. Okay, so now we're going to have some of the information. So make sure you have your notepad information of this information that we had saved from earlier open. We're also going to add a little bit more information to this as well, because we're going to be setting a password for our website. Okay, so let's click Let's Go. Okay, and it's asking us different information, the database name, username, and password. So that's what we have here. And so I'm going to be copying and pasting this. So selecting the database name, I'm going to copy that, go back to this, and highlight it, right click, paste over. So we should have our database and the username. This is why we saved it to this notepad. It makes it a lot easier to get. You could always, if worst case scenario, you lost this information, you could always go back to your host server and change the passwords and get that information from your host server. It's in the same section as the database there. Okay, so that's all the three things. Now the database host, we're going to leave it as localhost. Okay, that just says you're going to look on the same server. If you were super advanced and you had different servers with all stuff, you would change that, but most of the time you don't. We can leave this table prefix default there, and we're just going to submit this. All right, so it says, all right, Sparky, made it through this first part of this installation. WordPress can now communicate with your database. If you had an error message here, it means some of your information is incorrect. If that happens, go here, back to your cPanel, and scroll down to the database section, which I might have already passed. Yes, right here. Go to your MySQL databases section and make sure that your database name is correct. Okay, so here it is. Make sure your username, the user of the database, is correct, which is here's current users, and make sure, like I said in the previous video, that you've set your user to the database. And if you do need to change your password for the user, you can do that right here and copy that information down on the notepad. So that's if for whatever reason something doesn't work here. You can always go back and redo that. All right, so we're ready to run the install. So I'm going to click Run the Install, and it's already set up the files. Perfect. So now we're going to give some preliminary information to this website. Keep in mind, all of this stuff can be changed later, so it doesn't have to be the Bible. We just need it to make sure that it's got some preliminary stuff. Okay, so I'm going to fill out this form. So I'm just filling out this form. I put a site title in here, so we're going to call it, the site title is Nuclear Learning, and a username. Don't put something obvious here, please. So I'm just putting, say, a name and NL at the end. The reason why I'm saying that is don't use admin or something very obvious on your site, because hackers try to do what's called brute force attacks, where they keep on trying passwords. If they're pretty certain they've got your real username, they can continue to do that. Now we're going to have some special tools that we're going to download and install on the website that helps prevent that, but just good to have something a little more obscure. Now, WordPress is really picky about secure passwords. Where they say it's weak, it's actually a strong password. If that's the case, that's fine. Confirm use of weak password. Just click the check mark here. Not a problem. Then you fill out your email. So this could be whatever email that you have, could be your Gmail. It could even be your info@ email for this domain, whatever makes the most sense to you. So I'm going to put my an email in here. We'll just put info@. Sure, I'll just put that. You can even use this as your username. So if you want to use the email as a username, you can do that as well. And we're going to check this box off. Now it's going to be something that we're going to make sure that we check again later on. What this does is, as we're building the website, we don't want Google and these other sites to go look and say, hey, there's a new website, and start memorizing what's on your website. That's indexing, really. We want to do that when we're ready to go live with it. So I'm just going to check that off for now, and we're going to go ahead and install this website. All right, it's going to ask me to save it again. I'm pressing never. Okay, so here we go. Make sure you copy this down. So I'm just going to put this on my thing here. So there, that's the username. And of course, the password. Okay, and that's going to be secret. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to save that. Excellent. Okay, we're going to come back here. We're going to go ahead and log into our website. Okay, so and we're going to put the password. You can click remember me, that's fine, and log in. We're just going to make sure it works. Okay, excellent. We are in the back end of our website. This is what it looks like from the back end, and I'm going to be explaining all of this stuff. We're going to go step by step through all of this. You don't need to memorize all this stuff, but I am going to go through it and explain what it all is. And we're just going to check what it looks like from the front end. Okay, just type in the domain name. There it is. So we have our site, it's installed, and here's a hello world, which is sort of a first post. Now when it first installs, it installs to make itself look like a blog. We're not doing a blog, we're gonna have a full e-commerce brand website. So there's a lot of stuff that's gonna change, but this, if you're getting this, give yourself a huge hand, because I mean this is awesome stuff. I mean, you have something tangible, and now you have a website technically that people can come look at. Okay, so this concludes the installing the WordPress section. The next section is installing the design template.